Your Excellency, we are here to firstly thank the Almighty God for what He has done for Mother Ghana. The peace we are enjoying after a major election, I think that it surprises many a nation, and we want to thank God for that. It is an answer to our prayer. We actually prayed into this election, and what the Lord has done, we are glad. We want to rejoice together with you, and also to congratulate you for the decisive victory that you shot together with the NDC. You have done very well. We want to say congratulations, sir, for this victory. And also we are here to assure you that the Ghana Pentecost and Charismatic Council will continue to pray for you, and then we'll also make ourselves available to support your presidency.
One of the early things that I think I want to do is, one, to begin again the process that was started by Professor Mills in respect of the constitutional review. It stalled at a certain point, and for the last 8 years we haven't moved it anywhere. I think that the time has come for us to look at our constitution again. It has served us well, and I still believe it's one of the best constitutions any African country can have. But after using it for several years, we realize that there are a few parts that we need to tweak so that it can serve us for even further generations to come. Okay. And so one of the things that I intend to do is to hold a national validation conference where we would bring all stakeholders in a form of consultative assembly. The legal people will know how to phrase it so that we can move it forward. Now what we want to do is to bring the constitutional review report back to this validation conference. There might be things that we flagged that we wanted to amend that might not be necessary again this time. And then by the new things that we didn't really take notice of, that will become important for us to include in the review. I mean, for instance, if you take the impasse between Parliament and the judiciary, nobody anticipated that a situation like this would arise. But once it's arisen, we must clearly state what the mandate of the Speaker is, so that it's unambiguous, so that nobody has to go to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation about what the Speaker's role is when vacancies occur. So these are some of the things that I think a validation conference like that will help to streamline. And once we've done that, we can separate the two amendments. We have the entrenched clauses and we have the non-entrenched clauses. The non-entrenched clauses are easy to pass because it just has to do with Parliament. And so once we all build a consensus around the non-entrenched clauses, we can send them directly to Parliament. The entrenched clauses are going to be more difficult, but we need to build a consensus around them. They are more difficult to amend because you need Parliament to validate it, and then you need to go for a referendum to the people. And I believe that if you look at the standards that our Constitution sets for those referenda, no one party can pass through any such amendment. And so we need to build a consensus with our colleagues, a bipartisan consensus with our colleagues on the political field, and get also the support of the civil society, the traditional rulers, the religious leaders, to be able to move those amendments forward. So that's one of the first things that I think I'll be consulting you on immediately after we come to office and start the planning towards this validation conference. Apart from that, the priority really is the economy. The economy, even though the president sounded very upbeat about the third quarter growth, from the little briefing I have, the economy is still very sick. And there are many areas that we need to work on as quickly as possible, especially the energy sector. The energy sector can derail everything that we've done with regards to the debt exchange and with regards to the IMF program, because the debts continue to pile up there. ECG's governance is in a very bad way, and so they are making commercial and technical losses of more than 32%. There's no utility company that can survive with 32% commercial and technical losses and still continue to be a viable utility. And so as quickly as possible, we need to do reforms, in the electricity value chain in order that we have better efficiency and performance if we are to have sustainable power going forward. The priority is to stabilize the economy, reduce waste, rationalize taxes, because Ghana is increasingly becoming a high cost point of doing business. If we are to remain competitive, we must rationalize the taxes, make them more transparent, so that foreign investors feel attracted to come to our country, to come and set up, businesses and industries, so that we can get employment for our young people. There's a limit to how much government can employ. We're a country of more than 30 million people. The number of people on government's payroll is less than 1 million. And so it just shows that the public sector is not the viable option for creating jobs. It's the private sector. But how we grow the private sector, not by lip service, but by giving concrete assistance to that sector, is going to be very important. And of course, building up agriculture and agribusiness and agro-processing, which is an area that can employ very many more people. It's something that we need to look at and expand. So there's a lot that needs to be done, but God never gives you a load that your neck cannot carry. So once He's giving me this load, it is my hope that He will strengthen my neck so that I'm able to carry that load. But I can carry it.
Yeah, that's what I said. We should video ni real. No about modian, no idea. No subscribe. What like it? No what share. On the Duut TV there. Yet that's why. And is this how? You didn't know my papa ne ebro send you the be Americano. Na die hia ye pa ha ye man mu nsem nua me koso wo man mu na ye de me de brew ha enti me de brew sa na so abomode na wa de wo so e de ma nua bi de be ya wo no so be de e de ba ma de nua bi na wo so ai de ahwe de koso wa ho na wan subscribe obede hu ye be so bomode na subscribe ma ha ye Duut TV o man mu nsem so ana ye tia ye de brew nyame hye na nyame ka ho mo amuhwe de bia na mo follow nyina ye kase nyame hyira mo nyina say nya easy so baba be na be hwe obi na obedi nachi edu ba bia na me bompa ye say nyame beto nsem na nyame be de nyame be hyira de be ya de bia obenya credit na obenya data so de ade e de aba be hwe o mai mo nsem o Duut TV nyame hyira o me no be se na share view bye bye.